ever get that existential dread of how you're going to read all the books? There are too many books. There are so many great books. I'm missing out on all these books, backlist books, new books. How am I going to pick? If you have that decision paralysis, I have got you covered. I'm Jack. My channel is Spread Book Joy, and together with my friend Gemma from Gemma Books, I run the FOMO Book Club, the Fear of Missing Out Book Club. And we put this together with our lovely friend Alice. Alice, Gemma and I got together and we put in lists of books that we all felt we'd missed out on, and we decided to start reading them together, and then we opened it up as a book club to everybody. And we put these lists of books together, and we would get together and we would vote on the ones we wanted and pick out 6 books from each of our lists, across our lists, that we wanted to read that year. And I will tell you now, the FOMO Book Club books have produced some of my best books in the last 3 years. And this is our 4th year of running it. And Gemma and I are running it in honour of our friend Alice as well, because we sadly lost Alice last year. She passed away and we are devastated about that. But the FOMO Book Club was something that we put together with her that we loved. And in fact, it's the thing that I love the most. Out of all the things I've done on BookTube, I love the FOMO Book Club so very much. It has given me such joy to read amazing books, to talk about them at length with my friends. And we invite you all to join us. Join us in reading these books that we feel we've missed out on, and you might have too. And every year we pick the books from lists that Gemma and I and Alice had written. We've still got Alice's list, so we're still picking books from Alice's list that she wanted to read. And we're also honouring Alice by picking books from our lists that Alice loved. Our current FOMO year runs from November to October, and that is because the first year we set it up, we couldn't wait to start it in January. We had to start it as soon as possible, so we started in November. So our year runs from November to October. It's strange, but there you go. But Alice and Gemma and I loved it so very much, and we were so excited to read these books, we just got going. So that's the FOMO year. It starts in November. We read one book every 2 months. We're currently finishing off our last FOMO year with Alice's favourite book of all time, A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. And in a strange twist of fate, it is the #1 banned book in America at the moment. I saw that over on MJ's channel, Reading This Life. She runs a banned books project. She encourages us to read the books that have been banned in educational institutions in America. And that is the #1 book. I couldn't believe it, because it's, you know, a very controversial book when it was released in the 1960s or 70s. But anyway, the film was very controversial as well, the Stanley Kubrick film. But yeah, it's kind of just considered a dystopian classic here in the UK, and to realise it's the #1 banned book in American schools still. So if you want to read a banned book and promote the reading of books and that the books should not be banned, come and read A Clockwork Orange with us. We're going to be talking about it on my channel at the beginning of November sometime. The date will be arranged. And when we finish reading a book, we always have a live stream. Usually we share either putting the live stream on my channel or Gemma's, but this year they're going to be on mine until Gemma decides that she might want to return and run some live streams. But I'm going to be running them. Gemma's going to be taking full part in the reading and the chatting about all of the wonderful books we're going to read. And yeah, so read the book, come along, watch the live stream, put your thoughts in the comments, leave us questions. We've got a StoryGraph book club group. If you're on StoryGraph app, I've got a link in the description box below. You can click it and join, and you'll get announcements about our live streams. You can leave us your thoughts on there, any questions you have. If you can't make it to the live stream, we will always read out and discuss your questions and thoughts anyway, regardless. So what are we reading for the next year? We've got 6 really amazing books for you. I'm very, very excited, and lots of them are, like I said, Alice's books that were on our list that we know were Alice's favourites, and books that were on Alice's list that she wanted to read that we all want to read together. So yeah, so I'm going to tell you what they are. Let's get into it. We are starting in November and December with 5 Little Pigs by Agatha Christie. This was Alice's favourite Agatha Christie book and her favourite Hercule Poirot book. Hercule Poirot is her favourite Agatha Christie detective, and Alice loved this book and she loved Agatha Christie. If you're a fan of Agatha Christie or crime, go and check out Alice's videos. If you want to get into Agatha Christie and you don't know where to start, Alice has a whole playlist on her channel that she puts so much work and effort into, and they are just fantastic videos. I'm going to link some in the description box below so you can go and see her top 10 Agatha Christie's and her top 10 or 12, I think it was, Hercule Poirot books, and you can go and watch why she loved them so much. We're going to be reading 5 Little Pigs, which is a Hercule Poirot cold case. So a woman is in prison, I believe, for poisoning her husband, and she dies in prison 16 years after she's convicted, and her daughter asks Poirot to investigate the people that she felt should have been looked into further, and there are 5 of them, hence the title, 5 Little Pigs. So it's Hercule Poirot's cold case, Alice's favourite Poirot, but also favourite Agatha Christie of all time, and she'd read everything. Every crime book that Agatha Christie had ever written. So she was someone I would consider an expert in Christie. So yes, that is our book for November and December, 5 Little Pigs by Agatha Christie. In January, I am super excited. We are going to be reading Isaac Asimov's Foundation, which is the first in his Foundation series, and originally it was published as a series of short stories where Asimov was given the sort of inspiration of writing space stories about the collapse of an empire based on the collapse of the Roman Empire, I believe. This is what I've read about it. I have been watching the TV show, so I have some idea about what it may be about, but I've been told the TV show diverges quite a bit from the books. Gemma loves the idea of reading this because I think she's got lots of family connections to this book and she's never read it. Like her, I think her dad really loved Asimov, so Gemma's really excited to read it. I'm excited to read it. I've always wanted to read Foundation and I don't know why I've missed out on it. But yeah, originally published apparently as a series of short stories and then collected into the novel that is now the first of the Foundation series. So it's about psychohistorian Harry Seldon, who predicts the collapse of a galactic empire, and so he sets up an institution called the Foundation to alleviate what's going to happen. And so yes, it looks fantastic and I'm really excited to read it. So that is our January and February pick, Isaac Asimov's Foundation. In March and April, we tend to pick a book that is a children's or YA because of middle grade March. However, this book, I remember reading it as a teenager and not really understanding it as well as I did as an adult. The book is The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole, age 13 3/4, and this is a British humour classic. Sue Townsend wrote this book and it's a diary format and it is really hilariously funny. Our diary writer Adrian Mole believes himself to be somewhat of an intellectual, and we read about Adrian's life and his struggles and his family and his school life and his burgeoning teenage love life, all through the lens of Adrian, who thinks he's really bright but actually is very, very naive, and it is done so brilliantly. I remember reading it as a teenager and thinking it was okay, it was quite funny. Reading it as an adult, it was just so delightful to me, and it is one of Alice's favourite books as well. Alice loved The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole and we talked about it quite a lot. So when I saw that this was on a list, I think it was on Alice's list and Gemma had voted for it, so I was like, we have to read it, we have to. Alice loved it so much and I absolutely love this book. So if you've never read any Sue Townsend, I really urge you to read it. It's set in 1981 and 82, so it's over the course of those years, and there's a lot of historical things that happen in it. Prince Charles and Diana's wedding, and he talks about the Falklands War, so it's also quite a snapshot of that time in the UK, but yeah, really brilliant and well worth reading. So that is our March-April pick, The Secret Diary of Adrian Mole, aged 13 3/4. In June and July, we are reading a translated Japanese fiction, If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Kawamura. This book is about a young man who is given a terminal diagnosis, and then when he goes home and he lives on his own with his cat called Cabbage, the devil appears to him and promises him an extra day of life. Every single day, at the end of the day, he has to select something that the devil will make disappear from the world, and he will get an extra day of life. And so he has to look around him and think about what is important and what makes life worth living, and what could he stand to live without. And so it sounds like a very deeply reflective book about what makes life worthwhile. So we're hoping for a book that will be, whilst probably quite sad, it will also be quite uplifting and make us think a bit more about what's important in life. So that's our June and July pick, If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Kawamura. And I just should correct myself, it's in May and June we'll be reading If Cats Disappeared from the World. In July and August we are going to be reading Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. Never read it. This was a book that Alice and I had planned on reading, so I'm really looking forward to getting to it. It's the start of the Mad Adam trilogy, which is Margaret Atwood's post-apocalyptic dystopian trilogy, and it's about a man living in the world. He might be the last human alive. He has lost his good friend Crake, and he keeps hearing the voice of the woman that they both loved, Oryx, and he is surrounded by devastation in a world where some things have gone on. I think the mystery is to unfold and find out what's happened, but apparently this is a fantastic trilogy of dystopian books, and I imagine, much like many of Margaret Atwood's books, this is probably very relevant to what's happening in the world today. So that is Oryx and Crake by Margaret Atwood. Finally, in September and October we'll be finishing with The Chrysalids by John Wyndham, which is another post-apocalyptic vision of the future. John Wyndham, classic speculative fiction writer. I've never read The Chrysalids before. Alice really wanted to read this. This was on her list. Alice was reading some Wyndham and really enjoying John Wyndham's work. And The Chrysalids is his post-apocalyptic vision of a post-nuclear I believe, future where there are genetic mutations and people who are intolerant of those who have been born differently or become different. And yes, so I'm really excited to read it. It's supposed to be fantastic. So those are the FOMO Book Club picks for next year. I hope you're as excited as we are about them. Let me know in the comments if you're planning on reading any of them with us, if any of them are your favourite books or books that you've loved, because that will make me even more excited to read it. Why not think about rereading with us, or at least joining us for the live streams for an in-depth discussion about it? And if you've never been here before and you like my rambling nonsense, I have loads of rambling nonsense on my channel. You might want to go and check it out. Please go and check out Gemma's channel, Gemma Books. She's got some fantastic videos on her channel where she talks about all sorts of fiction. She reads widely and eclectically. Please check out Alice's channel. Alice was also a hugely eclectic reader. Alice and Gemma ran the Women's Prize read-alongs with our lovely friend Charlie. So you'll find literary fiction, you'll find crime fiction, you'll find all sorts of things over on Alice's channel as well as on Gemma's channel. So check out my friends' channels. Come and join us for FOMO Book Club, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye!